Ever since 2023, Fortnite has been starting to pump out a lot of brand new side modes. As a matter of fact, Fortnite itself is a side mode to save the world. The point being, Fortnite has a lot of modes, and naturally, some of them are going to be more popular than others, but a lot of these modes end up being forgotten. Some of these modes can have as many as millions of players daily, but some of them go all the way down to below 1,000. What modes am I talking about? Well, I mean, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, then why would you watch the video? I'm gonna look at 5 modes that Fortnite has seemingly forgotten about and have almost been pushed to the wayside. I'm gonna go over the general gameplay of them, what you do in them, and why they got forgotten. With that being said, be sure to like and subscribe. If we hit 20k by 2026, I'll get a low taper fade. Also, use code LilSmurf in the Fortnite item shop whenever you're buying a skin or the battle pass or whatever. Follow me on Twitter. That's enough promotion. Let's go. Let's start off with the most popular of these modes, Save the World. I'm not necessarily saying that Save the World has been forgotten by the community, but I'm saying it's been forgotten by Fortnite themselves. I've made an entire video in the past talking about Save the World, and funny enough, it's one of my most popular videos, and it also happens to be one of my worst. I still agree with some of the points I made in that video, but lord was I wrong. I ended up playing this mode way more, and I can confidently say that, yeah, it's a lot of fun, and Epic is definitely neglecting it. The reason they are neglecting it is because not a lot of people are really playing it, and the reason why not a lot of people are playing it is because it's still locked behind a paywall after all these years. Once in a blue moon, Fortnite will acknowledge Save the World's existence and give it a small, tiny little update, or maybe they'll give it a tweet or something, but for the most part, they have pushed it completely to the wayside because Battle Royale just has more players, and that's why it died in the first place. I feel like if this mode was free, people would play this a lot more, and Epic would see that there is an audience for this. Anyways, the basic premise of this game is it's basically a zombie survival game. You build stuff to protect your base, and then eventually a bunch of zombies are gonna come and try to tear it down, and you and 3 other people have to defend it. It's a very basic gameplay loop, but it's one that works very well, because it's not just build a base and then protect it from zombies. There's also little side quests that you can do, like helping someone find a med kit, or filling something up with blue glow, or something along those lines, and it all makes for a really engaging experience, especially when you're playing with other people. So yeah, I can confidently say that this is a really fun mode. However, once again, it's just not being supported, and it's still locked behind a paywall, so Fortnite isn't going to support it anymore because it doesn't have nearly as much play as it. So yes, it's a lot of fun, but Epic isn't supporting it, and I feel like it would get so many more players if they just dropped the paywall. It's not like you can get free V-Bucks anymore. That's exclusive to founders. You know, people who have already bought the game. They have most definitely gotten their money's worth from getting free V-Bucks if they bought the Founders Pack, so why not just make it free for everyone? You get more money because you have more people on your game, and you could probably put more resources into a game that actually has a solid player base. I feel like I've talked about Save the World enough. If you want to, you can go check out my old video on it. Just know I don't really agree with a lot of the stuff I said in that video. Anyways, moving on. Party Royale is kind of infamous in the Fortnite community simply because of the devious activities that go down with the 5-year-olds in the lobbies. Seriously, you do not want to know the amount of times I have walked into a bedroom and I see a Chun-Li skin and someone doing the eagle emote. Regardless, basically, Party Royale is just supposed to be Spawn Island, but if it was the whole game. It's a place for you to hang out with other players, do obstacle courses, maybe a couple mini games, flex your cosmetics, flex your emotes, whatever. And honestly, it's a very cool concept. I feel like it could work, but it just feels like a really bad creative map. Like I mentioned, there are some obstacle courses and mini games on this island, but they're very few and far between, and even then, They are incredibly basic, and overall, it's just not that good. You will get bored in here within like 5 minutes. I could not see anyone spending more than 20 minutes at a time in this. I feel like if they just expanded the island a little more, added a few more like locations, a few like little side quests that you can do, and make this an actually expansive sort of world, then they could have done something. Maybe something like a little GTA, which perfectly segues into our next segment. LEGO Fortnite Brick Life is basically LEGO Fortnite, but if it was GTA. And LEGO City Undercover is basically LEGO, but if it was GTA. Now, what's the difference between these two? Well, one of them is goated, and the other is unbelievably mid. For starters, you're just thrown right into here and not given any sort of direction on what you're supposed to do aside from a few little pop-ups in the corner. You can like drive around the city and you can build stuff, and there's some occasional side quests. That's really all I can say about this mode. Guys, trust me, I really tried to get into this mode, and I just couldn't. It's so unbelievably bare bones. And you know, I really thought I would enjoy it. There's a new Star Wars update in it. I would have really enjoyed some of that stuff. But it's, again, super bare bones. This is like LEGO Party Royale. You know what? I'll give this mode some credit. In Party Royale, I was only able to play it 5 minutes at a time. In LEGO Fortnite Brick Life, I was able to play it 10 minutes at a time. Yeah, not that much else to say. This mode is really mid. I honestly just don't see any saving this mode. It's so unbelievably bare bones. Let's just move on to the next one. Rocket Racing is honestly the most interesting case out of all these modes to me. Because with all of these modes, Epic wasn't really pushing them all that much. You know, they were definitely pushing Save the World a lot at the beginning, but once Battle Royale blew up, they just dropped it. But Rocket Racing, oh my god, they were pushing this thing like crazy, with it even being a main focus in the Big Bang Live event. This was supposed to be the next big thing for Fortnite. They were genuinely thinking this was going to be on par with Battle Royale. It definitely wasn't. You know, with the other modes, LEGO Fortnite and Festival, they at least pull a solid like 20k people, often more than Save the World. They are pulling a pretty substantial player base. It's not nearly as much as Battle Royale, but at least it's something. Rocket Racing failed so bad that they completely canceled doing updates for it. This mode is getting no new tracks, no new features, no new nothing. It's dead. So, as for the actual gameplay, yeah, it's rough. It takes a lot of inspiration for Rocket League. I mean, half of the name of Rocket League is in Rocket Racing's title, so. But this just doesn't really translate that well to a racing game. The controls, whether it's jumping, drifting, or even just simple steering, it all feels incredibly off. If you get hit by another car, you'll either spin completely around and go in the opposite way, or you'll lose all your momentum and immediately stop. With a game like this, it's naturally gonna draw some comparisons to Mario Kart, and honestly, Mario Kart is what this should have been. And no, I'm not saying it has to be exactly 1-for-1 for Mario Kart, but it seems like they were trying so hard to make an arcade racer when it should have just been a fun racing game. It feels like a racer you would find at your local arcade, whereas Mario Kart, it's got items, it's got a bunch of different racers and different stats that you can customize your kart with that would have made it a lot of fun. But they just didn't decide to do that with Rocket Racing. Battle Royale is unlike a lot of shooters because it's cartoony, it's wacky, it's zany, it's insert thing here. It's crazy, and I feel like that sort of Fortnite DNA is just missing from Rocket Racing. All of the quote-unquote tracks don't even feel that different from each other. They all just feel like a slightly different layout with a slightly different theme. You know, jungle theme, neon theme, desert theme, or something so unbelievably basic that it just doesn't stand out to you at all. If they want to revive this mode, which I don't know why they would, it's basically just dead in the ditch, but if they wanted to, incorporate some sort of item system. You know, you run into an item box and you get like a Koopa shell. I know we're not getting Koopa shells, but like a shockwave grenade or something to make it an actually good sort of racing game that would have fit the Fortnite style. But now we are going to move on to the final mode, which is a mode that failed so hard that it currently has less than 500 players. Fortnite Festival is basically a Guitar Hero clone, and Guitar Hero has a versus mode where you can battle other players. Well, why don't we turn that into a battle royale? You know what, maybe we don't do that. Festival Jam Stage is definitely something. It's not even that bad of the mode, and the concept is definitely there, but there's so many things wrong with it that just make it so it's just a mess. It's a mess. So basically what'll happen is you guys will vote on a bunch of songs, and then you have to play those songs, and whoever gets the highest amount of points will win. You need to have a certain amount of points, or you need to get a certain place in order to move on to the next round, and the last one standing will win. It sounds like a cool concept, but it doesn't really work that well. A lot of the instruments just aren't balanced that well. There will be some where like you're basically guaranteed that if you play this instrument, you're basically selling the round. Or you could have someone who plays like 2 notes throughout the entire song and they will still be on top no matter what. It's just balancing between the different instruments and the different songs is all over the place, and there's no real actual skill involved. There is a little bit, but if you just don't really miss that many notes and you pick the right instrument, you'll win. There's also like this feature where you can send these fireballs at your opponents and it'll like mess up their screen and make their score multiplier lower, which I feel like could work, but at the end of the day, when you shoot it, it also makes your thing blurry, so it's basically a lose-lose, but you basically have to do it if you want to get ahead. It's all really dumb. The more and more time went on, it just became an absolute mess of a mode, and like I said at the beginning, it's pulling less than 1,000 players consistently. So yeah, those are all the modes I really wanted to talk about. There's definitely more quote-unquote forgotten modes that could be covered, but those are the 5 that I think Fortnite and the community sort of forgot about. So that's all I really wanted to talk about. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe. Once again, if I hit 20k by 2026, I'll get a low taper fade. Also, use code LilSmurf in the Fortnite item shop. It goes a really long way to support the channel. Comment down below your favorite mode in Fortnite or your forgotten modes in Fortnite, whatever. I like reading your guys' comments a lot. That's all I really wanted to say. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. When you walk away, you don't hear me say, please, oh baby, don't go. Simple and clean is the way that you're making me feel tonight. It's hard to let it go.